Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. So, on the agenda tonight, we have a bit of an update on one of the videos that I made recently, as well as having a look at something else that has popped up under the whole AI umbrella that we've been looking at recently. And it seems like there are just more and more things that are kicking off with AI that are just really concerning for musicians and just the general public of potential scams that are out there and things that you can, unfortunately, be drawn into thinking that it's something entirely different. So what happens sometimes on my channel is that I'm asked to look at a particular artist or performance, whatever it might be, and I conduct my analysis video and I present my video with objective data. And what happens after my video's gone live, the band or artist or subject of my video then changes the things that I was talking about in my video. And this has happened in the past where I might have been pointing out a particular performance that is lip-synced or mimed because we can match that audio file to one that was recorded 20 years ago, for example. And then after my video, they delete their performance, so it's no longer available on their channel. Of course, it's still part of my video, but it has happened where a particular subject has deleted multiple videos. So in this particular case, the Ella Scott video that I made, we looked at her YouTube channel. I say her. We looked at the YouTube channel. We looked at the website as well. And I had that all on screen while I was looking at it so that everybody could see exactly what I was seeing. So I have seen some comments from people that say, oh, I've been to Ella's website, and she doesn't say anything about setting up a charity or foundation, anything like that. It says that it's just a merch store. And the really important thing is, I guess people aren't watching my video closely or listening because I show on screen her website, and you can clearly see about the Ella Scott Foundation and her, founding a charity. And I also point out about the registered trademark that's also illegal on there. So I pointed out all of that stuff, and the changes to her website have been made in response to the video that I made. So that's why it now looks different. And we're just going to explore some of the differences tonight. The great thing is that just by putting a spotlight on it, it means that it now kind of brings it into focus and we start to get a little bit more honesty going on. And that's all everyone wants, or anyone wants, is just to know what they're watching, know what they're listening to. And for the person who might be setting this up, or people that might be setting this up, to just be honest about what they're doing. Now, on screen, we've got the website. We've still got this Ella's Summer Tour kicks off, pre-sale tickets coming soon. Again, that's not going to happen. And then we scroll down, and one of the main differences, I mean, yeah, these are still all AI pictures, and some of them looks like a different person in each one. But the really important thing is the R, the registered trademark, has now disappeared after what I mentioned in my video about owning a registered trademark myself and knowing the legalities of it. That's now been removed. Just for those people that say, oh, it's, blown out of proportion and things along those lines. If what I was saying was untrue, why has the registered trademark now disappeared? If Ella Scott is a registered trademark, there's no reason to remove it other than the fact that I've pointed out that it doesn't exist. So that change is absolutely backing up my video, that it wasn't a registered trademark. And that's what I said in my video. So the other thing I said about this AI image, facing the wrong way. And if you look here, you've got somebody's mouth that's blended into their nose and it looks like they've got goggles on. And, you've got what looks like a camera or a phone or a box with a circle on here. It doesn't look like anything. But anyway, we'll now go to the About page, because if you check out my previous video, you'd have seen how it didn't read like this at all. And here we have some of the music and visuals on this channel are created with the help of AI tools. Again, saying some. All of these images are AI, and the music is AI as well. So yeah, again, that's not entirely true, but at least there's a mention of AI. But it goes on, guided by my artistic vision and faith. This note has been published on YouTube since the channel's creation on February 15th, 2025. And due to high interest, I am including it here as well. Yeah, due to me saying that it's AI, now it's disclosed as being AI. And again, I mean, this really speaks to the whole point about my video and honesty and openness and transparency and artistic integrity. If somebody is wanting to do this, that you shouldn't have to be found out first to then say, oh, and by the way, this is what I'm doing. You should be honest in the first place. So again, this absolutely backs up what I'm saying in my video. And the fact that this is now added shows that there was dishonesty in the first place. You shouldn't have to be found out first. And then you say, oh, well, why didn't you put it on your website to begin with? And the only answer would be to that, oh, because I didn't think people would find out. But now they have, I'll mention it. That's the wrong order to be doing things in. Just mention it first. So, and then it goes on. At the same time, I continue learning and working every day so that one day I can overcome the limitations, both financial and technical, and bring all of my songs fully to life without the assistance of AI. Thank you for being here. Let's walk this path together. So we will continue to walk this path on Ella's website. And now onto the merch page. And this is the one that had the donation and her Ella Scott Foundation, the charity that she'd set up that didn't exist. So now it reads, and you'll notice this is entirely different to the website before my video. Through my charity merch, I founded a mission. So it's not founded a charity anymore, a mission under the name Ella Scott to support children in financial need, to help them chase their dreams and return to healthy, hopeful lives. 50% of all my personal income from music goes directly to this mission by purchasing t-shirts, hats and other items designed by me, or by simply making a donation. You can stand with me in this cause. Every contribution makes a difference. Thank you for being part of the journey. And I mean, I'll keep reading on. Note, this project has been switched off since the day it was launched, as I haven't yet managed to fully achieve it. At this stage, no products are available in the store. I also keep the page visible on purpose so that everyone can see what it really was. I called the Fourth Wall merch page a charity because if my designed caps and shirts had sold, I planned to use the funds for a good cause. This was never an official charity, and I never promoted or asked anyone on the platform to buy anything. Sadly, some people are now speculating about it, even though they've seen for themselves that sales are at zero. Thank you. So, again, in this case, it just backs up what I said in my video. There's no way anybody can know that 50% of everything donated is going to a charity unless it is a registered charity. And yeah, the thing is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the donation and merch. So it is a charity and to causes, or you can stand with her in this cause. Now, the problem is if you are now changing it from setting up the Ella Scott Foundation, and that's a charity that isn't actually a charity. If you're now changing it to a merch store and you're saying, look, okay, yes, I used a registered trademark. That was illegal. I've removed that. I didn't mention about AI on my website. Okay, but now I am mentioning that. So yeah, I was misleading everyone in the first place. Now when we click on donation and merch, we've still got an AI picture of her playing to kids. So and it still says Ella Scott Foundation. I don't get what this is all about. Because why make an AI picture that is to promote the work that you're doing and the charity that you're working for that gives money to children to help them achieve their dreams? And the only children you can focus are AI creations. So you'd say, well, isn't this misleading? And obviously, guitar players will know that this isn't what a guitar looks like, having two octave marks frets apart and then these two next to each other. But I've been through that in my other video. So this is absolutely an AI created image. And this is what's being shown to represent the charity. So for me, I know people will say, oh yeah, but there is no but. If you've got a charity that you've set up to help children in need and disadvantaged children, why don't you have pictures of the children you're helping rather than having to create it with AI? Because immediately, for me, I would say that's dishonest, because you should have your own pictures of your charity that you have set up, or a merch charity. So yeah, I mean, and again here, this is now totally different to the page because it's all been changed. And you can read through this again. It's all about, I think now it's like damage limitation, because I've shown what was going on. And now that a lot of people know what was going on, it's now trying to backtrack and say, oh yeah, we did, I think it's more a case of we, whoever set this thing up, we did do that, but we didn't mean it. I don't know what the excuse is. But anyway, yeah, we've got the, oh, here we do have some merch here that you can buy. Now to the other point. When the claim is made that, oh, okay, I did set up that charity that wasn't really a charity, and I might have misled everybody with what I was saying and AI, and yes, I do just use AI images, this didn't actually happen, but I haven't got any donations yet, or I haven't made lots of money yet, so it doesn't count, that kind of thing. And I know that some people have even commented about this, and I don't get this on any level where somebody says, oh, well, it's not like these other scams where, for example, somebody's released a song of Ed Sheeran or pretending to be Ed Sheeran, something like that. Now, first of all, every scam is a scam. It doesn't matter how big or how small it is. There are victims of every scam, and they don't care how big or small the scam is. And in those cases of like Ed Sheeran, for example, that's the kind of thing that is really easy to find out about and get from the artist that it wasn't an official release, because the actual artist, the record label, can tell you that. Now, when you have an artist that nobody really knows, and by the way, from what I saw in my video before, it's around maybe 45,000 subscribers on the channel. Nobody really knows this artist, and that's the point, because then you can't cross-reference it with anything. Because, of course, if you say, oh, you just released a song, is that AI? Of course they're going to say, oh, no, it wasn't. This is me. And, here's my live performance. This is another thing that if this person or the people that are doing this are now trying to backtrack, how do you justify labeling something as live when it's AI? But that's another thing, that there's no explanation for that. There's no way of justifying that, to create an AI song and say that it was a live performance. And guess what? There's no record of any live performances. So you can say, well, when did this live performance happen? Where did it happen? Let's look into it. Let's get the details. Because if you're saying that you did a live performance and then you used AI to make it sound better for the mix, you'll have that original performance. You will have the date, the time that you actually performed. You'll have people that actually attended that particular show. But there's no information, there's no background on any of these shows that you can get, because they're AI creations. So again, that's what I'm saying. It's a contradiction to call something live when you know it's not live. And again, it's just being dishonest. Now, the important thing to mention is when we go back to how people say, oh, but the site isn't getting any traffic and there haven't been any merch sales, all this kind of stuff. Let's just say, for example, nobody donated anything and nobody bought any merchandise. It still doesn't change anything, because it's like saying, okay, a YouTube channel was set up 7 months ago, and in those 7 months, they've got 45,000 subscribers, which people with YouTube channels will know. That's a lot of subscribers to get in 7 months. So let's say, what would happen in 14 months? Maybe 21 months? Would it be over 100,000 subscribers? Potentially, on the level of growth so far. So you've got an audience of 100,000 people that you can then tell about your website, and they might be checking that out anyway. And even if 1% of your subscriber base start checking that out, you can start making significant money from a donations page. So what's happened here is, I think that they've been building as much as possible over the last 7 months, and they were going to continue to do that. And what they've set up is the foundation, which obviously has been debunked now, and now they're having to backtrack because unfortunately the business plan has hit a wall, because they never thought they were going to be found out. And I guarantee you they wouldn't have mentioned anything about this on the website had I not made that video. So, you know, you don't judge a scam by how many people have been affected by it. If anything, you want to catch it early so that nobody gets affected by it. That's the whole point of letting people know about a scam as early as possible so that they don't fall into the trap. So yeah, it is great that things have now become more honest on the website. But again, looking at this, it still shows that there's something weird going on, that the people that are in charge of this, or the person in charge of this, just can't get to that really honest place of taking pictures of themselves if they are doing it. Because there's no reason to be using AI images, especially about your charity that you've set up and the kids that you're working with. It still doesn't make any sense. So anyway, yeah, I mean, it's good news that we've managed to make a bit of a difference. But anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And let me know what you guys think, as always, in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys at the next one. Rock!